Okay. Let's see. Right now, I'm doing the instructions for putting together the ErgoDox. Step 1 is preparation. Prepare the components and tools for the assembly. We recommend a temperature-controlled soldering iron with a flat tip. Here's a list of the included components required for the keyboard assembly. You'll find a few extras in the box. Check to make sure the PCB fits inside plate number 2. You may have to do a little sanding of the PCB or case corners to make it fit. I ran into a couple problems when I was starting this. I've got all of the components. Let's see. Obviously, these are the PCBs. They look nice and pretty. Layer 1, which is actually called layer 5. Layer 2 is this one, which was called layer 4. Oh, let's see. I don't know exactly the order these go in. Yeah, it's layer 1. Layer 2. These are layer 3, which is labeled as layer 3. This is layer 4, which is probably layered or listed as layer number 2. Layer 5, and that's the top plate. There's one for each side, or a set for each side. There's the sticker for the what calls it the 4th layer, but it's actually the 2nd layer. Same thing for the other side, which technically would go that way. 1. The problem I ran into, well, technically the second problem that I ran into with this set was when I was getting the acrylic ready. One of my acrylics came broken at the corner. So I was not too thrilled about that. I don't know how it could have happened, because these things, they ship with this part inside of it. So you would think that it would protect it and keep it, you know, together and not break, but mine got broken. So I sent an email to the Mass Drop contact support, and hopefully they'll be able to send me out a new one of these. It's not necessary for the soldering part of it, but in order to put it together and actually have it look nice, it would be beneficial to have one that's not broken. Technically speaking, I could probably assemble it with this broken thing in there. There are obviously the 5 different layers for each side, so technically I could use it, but I would suggest if you get this kit, one of the first things you should do is count out all the parts. I actually already did count out all the parts, all the cherry switches and keycaps and diodes and everything. I made sure there was everything that was supposed to be there was there. My first problem was that when I was counting out the switches, I counted out 76, which, according to this, there are only 38 keys per side, and 38 times 2 is 76. So that's, I mean, 76 is all the keys you will need, or all the switches that you will need, but even on my packing list, it listed 76, or no, it listed 78 keys, switches, whatever, for what would be included in the kit, and there were only 78. The website has been updated since then, so it does say 76 keys now, or switches, but that's something I ran into. So when you get this kit, the first thing I would suggest is to go through all your components, look at everything, make sure everything's there, count everything out, even though it may be difficult. Make sure everything's there, and take off one side of the brown paper, the protective coat, and take a look at your actual acrylic and make sure everything looks good. I took a look at all the rest of the acrylic bits, and everything looks fine. No cracks or anything, so I hope that I won't be running into any more surprises with this. But I made sure everything looked good. And this is about a month after I got it shipped in. I was working on the AM/FM radio, basically educational soldering kit, so that I could know how to do soldering before I actually started on this project. So that's why it took me so long to actually get to this point. But along with, regular life things. So the first step is to make sure that the that's lovely. The PCB should fit right in to this second layer, or if you're going by the actual stickers, it says 4th layer. So that fits just fine, so that's good. It says you may need to perform some sanding if it doesn't fit, but that fits just fine. You don't really need the acrylic just yet, because you need to do a bunch of soldering first. So, suppose one at a time. I've got the way the PCB works is that it is 2 ways. It is both the left hand and on the other side, the right hand. You start by soldering on the second step is soldering on the diodes to the pads. Little bitty pad there and there. you solder them all on to their surface mounts. So those get soldered on to the little pads right there. So you solder the diodes onto the opposite side of the board. So instead of like if I solder the diodes onto this side, it won't be the right hand side that it will be the final product. It will be the left hand side because the diodes go on the back. And all the components are interchangeable. The left hand side is interchangeable with the right hand side. It just matters how you assemble it. So and then the final product ends up like this. Right hand, left hand, whatever position you want them. So I'm gonna take pictures. You gotta make it fancy if you're gonna take pictures. Click. So I guess start. I'm probably gonna have to remove this sticker. Because it's kind of in the way. If it'll come off nicely. Cool thing about stickers, you can use either masking tape or the sticker itself. If there's any residue left over, you can use the sticker to lift it off without getting more stuff on there. Gonna have to do the same thing to this side. Missed a corner. Damn. so it's out of my way. I could try putting it on somewhere after I'm done soldering if I wanted to, but that's good for now. I'm only gonna do one side at a time. So I guess I'll start with, I guess the left side technically. And, let's see here. These are the diodes. They come in this cool little package. There. I did manage to count them. I think there's more than I need, but let's see. Here we go. Oh shit. They're really tiny too, so you're going to want to have something to put these in right away. Oh, that's nice. They've got holes in the back of this, so you can actually tell when they pop out. That's all of them. And they all popped out. You can see those are super handy. Holes in the back of that. Okay. Oh, let's see. Other things that I got, I could go over these later, but I got aluminum top plates. It's basically a replacement for the fifth layer. So, just to make it look fancy. Those are for later though. Since this is probably gonna take a while, I'm going to just deal with this first. Highly suggest some ESD safe tweezers. Very fine point tweezers because these are really tiny pieces. And let's see. Solder the surface mount diodes. This is step 2. Solder the surface mount diodes into or onto the back side of the PCB for both the left hand side and the right hand side PCB. Note the cathode of the diode, denoted with a line, connects to the square pad on the PCB. Do that for all the keys. So this is the step that's probably going to take the most amount of time. I saw someone do this with a hot air station, which would almost be... will it focus? I don't know. Very tiny. What could also help is a magnifying glass. Oh, I see that tiny line on that side. Looks like it says T4A0. And there's a little bitty line on the right side. So a magnifying glass may also be very helpful if you don't have the best of vision. Now these all end up going if I can figure to place them correctly. Just like that, basically. Very tiny. Very tiny. I'm gonna take a look at the picture and see which side I should put this line side on so that I'm doing these right. It shows the line on the right side. So, the board itself, both of the, both the pads are kind of square. One of them, I suppose, looks a little... No, they both look pretty square to me. Alright, well. I'm gonna turn on my soldering station. I'm gonna not lose this because heck, I might even want to do this like on a piece of paper or something. Okay. Waiting for my soldering station to heat up. I'm gonna be using Caster 6337 soldering, solder, and that is 0.015 inches or 0.4 millimeters, which is very thin soldering wire, which should help me do this in a relatively decent manner without putting too much solder on this. One thing that I heard that was suggested by someone else who's put one of these together is to put some solder on the, like, pre-solder the right side of the pads first, and then get those diodes down in that first pad, and then add solder to the opposite sides. So I'm going to make sure to solder the line side on the right, at least. That is what the picture shows. So I'm going to follow what the picture shows. Alright. Oh, I also have a fan over here so that I don't breathe in these fumes. Alright. I'm using the default tip from the Heiko FX888D. So I'll start on this side. If I can get the right angle. Okay. Gonna take a quick look. At those. Just a tiny bit of solder on each side. And then grab one of these. And I'm gonna put the line, pardon me, I'm gonna put the line on the right side. So it will be like this. If I can get well, I need to go find that. I think it went into the carpet. Don't use too much pressure. Alright, I need to find that. I'm a lucky bastard. Flashlight. Very good idea. Very bright flashlight. Okay. Flashlight. Good idea. I was very lucky to find that because these are fucking tiny. Okay, so, first mistake. Don't hold on to these with too much power, otherwise your tweezers will fling them out into the nothingness, and if you have a carpet, fuck, god damn it. No, there it is, I found it. Oh, thank goodness. If you're doing this in a carpeted area, you will not thank yourself. So, gently. Ever so gently. Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna do myself a favor. I move the fan off of the table so that it was not shaking the table. Okay. Trying this again. using different different tweezers, more flat tweezers as opposed to pointed tweezers might help me. Okay. Solder this other side down, maybe. This would be probably easier with a smaller tip. One down, 78 to go. Probably. If I didn't mention it yet, a hot air station would probably be really awesome for this. What I'm doing is I pre-soldered the pads on the right, and then I'm taking the diode, making sure I've got the line lined up correctly on the right side, and then heating up the solder that's already there, and then pushing it into the right and making sure it gets into the solder, and then pushing down on the diode itself, and then heating up the solder once more and pushing it down so it's flat against the board, and then I'll solder them down on the right, or well, the left. Got some on the pad to the right of it. I think these holes on just the right and left of where the diodes are for if you were doing it with through hole diodes, but these ones are obviously surface mount. Okay, let me check these sides. This last one's kind of a little goofy looking. Okay. They all look relatively decent. This is not. They look relatively decent. And I'm alright with that. Obviously I'm not going to be spending a whole lot of time looking at this side of the board, so. Now I want to solder down the other sides of the pads. I think I got these first two, but not the rest of them. Check these. I'm gonna do this one a little bit better. The other ones look alright. Check it again. Okay. That's relatively okay, I suppose. I can check, continuity. I don't know. Well, I'll see. Checking continuity mode. And the way it looks, I don't think these two should be connected. However, this side should probably be connected to this. Just basing off of the routes that these appear to take on the PCB. This will remove headaches later for making sure that everything's continuous. Make sure things aren't messed up. I figure if I'm touching the top of the solder, and if the component is definitely, the components are definitely getting touched by the solder. If the solder is connected to the other pads that are in sequence, then I should be good. So first draw on that side done. A little bit iffy initially. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but then I figured it out, and so far so good. One down. one row down. More than one. Okay, I guess I'll do the same thing. That made it pretty decent. The way I'm doing this pre-soldering the right side, I'm kind of hitting the top right of the pad with the soldering iron, like the very edge or the tip of the soldering, like the corner of the tip, and then coming in from the opposite angle from the bottom left corner where I can still see the pad, and adding just a little bit of solder. That's a big gobs left on there. It might be helpful to clean the tip after you do each section so you don't accidentally blob too much on there. Alright. Good enough for now. I'll start on this row. Make sure you get the solder off. Hmm. Let me take a look at these. Move this top one over just a little bit. Okay. See how these look. Pretty decent to me. I'm gonna do a continuity check. Make sure the sides themselves are not connected. Well, I guess maybe I'll make sure that the sides are connected to these sides. What's that? What about this side? Okay. Heck, I think, technically speaking, does this one connect to this? No. Connects up here. Well, it looks like it connects up here. Yeah, it does. Alright, okay, so it's both sides, and both sides also don't end up connecting to each other. So that's good. Next row. Next. Okay. Okay. Gonna check these. Right now, I'm making sure that the lines are all on the right side. I make sure beforehand, but I make sure afterhand too. They're pretty decent. Okay. Okay. Gonna check these. One of them kinda looks a little funky. I guess that's alright. Another continuity check. Okay. And the two sides do not connect. pushing them down. I intend to have this be fast forwarded, so it's not too particularly important that I'm like narrating over all of this, but I could say something. I could talk a little. I'm gonna quick and see if I can find the schematics, because I don't want to be doing this wrong. I'm going to take a look at the PCB itself here. It does not say which way the diode should go. So I'm gonna continue looking up the schematic or something. Actually, I'm gonna look at this. Jumpers. I see a picture on the instructions themselves using the through hole ones. It shows a picture of the through hole ones. And it's got the cathode on the way I'm doing it. It's got the cathode on the left side, but on the top. So it would be on the left side, or rather it would be on the right side on the bottom. So according to this picture, step number 4.1 optional, you can kind of see the glowing computer screen. That is what you can see. It kind of shows the these are the diodes, and it shows the black strips are on the right side, but this is the through holes, and it's on the top side of the board. So if that is correct, then it would be the other way around on the bottom side, so it would end up being the cathode on the right side, which is what I've got right now. However, I'm confused a little about the placement of the thumb keys. The instructions are a little bit lacking, I would say. I'm still looking up schematic. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't say. Well, I don't know. Ooh. I just found a pretty cool. Well, I've saw this before, but Alright, well, I don't know. I'm gonna assume that they are all oriented in the same sort of manner, so that these ones that are positioned differently, these two, would be soldered the same way as if they were like the other ones. I mean, it's easy enough to assume that. It's just, I would have liked to have been absolutely certain, but the instructions for the ErgoDox on the mass drop site are very sparse. So, at least I'm pretty sure that that's how that goes. So, should be all right. Okay. I'm gonna continue with the soldering. I don't think I soldered these onto the left side. Not yet. I got one of these cocked at a weird angle. A little bit. A little bit better. Stick it down to the board. Okay. And then solder down the left sides. Let's see how these look. I got some solder in here. But otherwise, they look pretty decent. Gonna do another continuity check. And make sure the sides don't connect. It would probably be a good idea to do this in an area where you've got really clean, either a really clean carpet or definitely not a shaggy carpet, something that's got short carpet fibers. Um, or something where you're it's almost hard to suggest like a linoleum type floor because then the parts, if you drop one of these things, it's just gonna bounce into who knows which corner of oblivion. Um, but you don't want too long carpet fibers, otherwise you probably never find it. Take a look at these. I'm gonna tap them down too. Okay. Let's see. This is going pretty well so far. I'm happy about how it is. Little bit of iffiness. Directions not that great. But or at least they're not very thorough. Certainly you can extrapolate the correct information from it, but they're not too terribly straightforward. It'd be better if they would say very directly. As opposed to having you rely on the picture. Checking this other side here. And I'm going to check continuity. I think the reason why my my webcam is slow on the feed is because of how I've got it set up. I've got it connected with two well, through its own wire connected to kind of a USB extension almost. Well, yeah, that's what it is. It's meant for some other thing that draws less power, outputs less data, I suppose. So that's probably why it's a little funky right now. But I've also got my Nabi Square HD, and I am recording with that from this position. It's pointing down at my work right now, right between my legs, because that is the only position that seemed to work for this particular video. Hell, I've even got my my webcam taped to a box right now. It is taped to the box. So that's my setup right now. Oh, there's a... Hey. My mirror over there. You can't really see me because of the light. Anyway. Okay, we're back. Okay. I'm feeling I should put on a movie to listen to in the background. Right now I'm thinking either Ghost in the Shell, which I guess I should probably say a big fan of Ghost in the Shell, considering that I have a tattoo of the Major's neck boards. Cause I'm just cool like that. No, not really. Means more to me than just simply having the neck boards, but whatever. Either that or Fight Club. Let's try this again. I think I'll put on Fight Club. Check this side. I think I'll finish this one side of diodes. Oh, this one's this one's a little cocked up. A little better. Add a little bit more. Okay, so I took any away. Ooh, or Chobits. I like Chobits too. I think I'm gonna watch Fight Club though. Well, listen to it. Okay. That looks better. Okay, we're gonna do continuity check. We're almost done actually. Just got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more. Alright. And that'll be one half of the job. You know, it's a movie I haven't watched in a long time. Damn it. Tremors. Kevin Bacon. Stop dropping it. Okay. I'm gonna check these. Those are both at funky angles. Much better. Alright. I already pushed those down. I'm gonna solder the other sides. Alright. Those look relatively decent. We'll do another continuity check. And make sure the sides don't touch. Alright. Once I finish this side of diodes, I'm going to take a, well, it's probably going to be an hour break to get something to eat and to get the videos off my HD camera. One thing to mention, if you're ever using, as I am, lead solder, you're gonna want to wash your hands pretty thoroughly after you're finished working because lead is kind of poisonous. So like I said, I'm gonna go get some food after this, but I'm gonna make sure to wash my hands really well so that none of this stuff transfers to being in my mouth and getting into my system and poisoning me. I don't know how much lead you have to ingest or be in contact with in order to become sick, but I should probably know that. Tapping these down. Damn it, no, not like that. This is wrong. Damn it. I'm gonna do this one side of that. Just pressing down on the diode to make sure they're flat. Flat against the board at least. Then I'm going to check these, make sure they all look good, make sure they're all oriented in the correct direction with the cathode on the right being mounted from the reverse side of the board. So instead of this being the right hand, this is actually the left hand. Those all are correct. I don't think I need this, but I put some there anyway. I didn't even put any on that one. Technically speaking, I think these boards can have additional keys on them. Like instead of 78, it can have 80. 78? It looks like it's got space for two more. I'm gonna solder the other sides. We'll do these ones first. we'll see how that looks. We're done this side though. So long as these look good. That looked a little cocked. Cocked! Alright, well, I'll do a continuity check. I don't remember if I did this one. And make sure sides that I'm supposed to don't connect. Okay. So that's the diodes for the left-hand side. All done. And continuity checked out for all of them. So that side's done. At least the diodes for that side are done. I'll do the diodes for the other side next. But I'm gonna take a break for the moment and come back to it in about an hour. So I can eat some food, and maybe set up this so that it's got a single connection as opposed to being connected through two wires and essentially giving it a slow connection. So that's that.